Hello YouTube, Jerry Kirkpatrick here. Before we get off into the meat of this video, I got a couple of packages just recently. The first one, Aaron sent me a t-shirt with my logo on it. How cool is that? He also sent me a Christmas tree ornament, also with my logo on it. Pretty neat. And best of all, sent me my own very cup with my name on it. You may not know it, but you met Aaron. If you looked at my latest video, my last video, it was on the metal meet down in San Jose, and Aaron was the one that wouldn't allow my camera to focus on Ron Covell and myself because the camera was focused in on his head. So thanks a lot, Aaron. I appreciate these pieces. And a couple of days before Aaron's package came in, I got another package from Mike up in Idaho, and he sent me a paper towel dispenser, which will go to work right away, because this is how my paper towels are hanging now, and the wind just unrolls them all the time. So being in the vertical, I don't think that will happen anymore. But I especially like this because this can become a project for all of you fellows. All you have to do is make a special gusset for here, cut your tubing to the length of your paper towels, and I think this can be made both out of wood and out of metal. Put your logo or something in here, do some bead rolling work. This would be a nice project for almost any of you guys to do. A short while back, I made a video on making a laser that I could use in my mill and lathe. And just yesterday, I went to the hardware store to get some more batteries for it. The batteries wore out. And they were $4.50 a piece, and the laser requires 3. So I went back to the dollar store and purchased 3 complete lights with the batteries. So for $3, I got 9 batteries. That would be well over $15 if I bought them from the hardware store. I just went recently to the movie and saw Ford versus Ferrari, and it took me a little while to accept that what I was watching was just a movie, and all of the stuff they got wrong was okay. They were using the wrong cars in the wrong eras. Ken Miles was driving the wrong car when they showed him crashing at Riverside. He was in a J car, not in one of the earlier 2s. So there was a scene when Ken Miles was bashing in the trunk of the Cobra. That story was pretty much true, in that the trunk would not fit the box. It was just a plywood box that they fit. And it was actually Phil Remington who did the body work. When the car came back in, that caught my eye. The two little dents that they had to put in for the trunk to close on the box. Phil Remington was just the neatest guy. I mean, as smart as a whip, and I learned a lot from him. So if you have an opportunity to get this book, or even just go on the webs, Google Phil Remington, and you'll see what a unbelievable fellow he was. We all got, when we went to his memorial, we all got a sticker that came along with the book. This was at one of the former Shelby employees' reunions, and it was really neat to see all the guys together that had worked with and learned from Phil Remington. And I got a sticker somewhat typical of this when I went to Carroll Shelby's memorial at the Peterson Museum, and Jay Leno was the MC, and Dan Gurney gave a nice talk about him. It was probably one of the last major outings that Dan had done. It was quite a special day. Okay, with all of that over, the purpose for the video is to kind of give you a heads up as to what's going to be coming in 2020, the new year. One of the first projects that I'm going to do is show you how to adjust and sharpen your Dutchmans, your shears. I get quite a few phone calls and responses about my bead roller, so I'm going to take a short time, it'll probably be a fairly short video, and do a walk around on my bead roller and show you all of the additions, modifications that I've made, the movable top shaft, quick clamp, fence, just a quick walk around so you can see all of the features that are present on my bead roller. One of my most watched videos is using the flat washers on the bead roller. So I'm going to be doing another video on using flat washers and skateboard wheels. There's a tremendous number of patterns and combinations with using the skateboard wheel and the skateboard wheels and flat washers in different combinations, using flat washers on top, skateboard wheels on the bottom. I think you'll enjoy that video quite a bit. I was doing some copper repoussé a while back, and when I anneal the copper after I quench it, I usually dip it in some muriatic acid to get rid of all of the scale that has become apparent on the surface. And a few days later, while walking by my English wheel, I noticed that the tops of all of my anvils and the 8-inch wheel had some surface rust on them. So one of the videos I'll be making is polishing, bringing them back up to a shiny surface. Whatever the surface of your English wheel and anvil are is the surface that will appear as you're wheeling your piece. So if they're polished, you'll have a nice polished surface. I've made an adapter that I can slide the wheels on, tighten them down, and turn them on the lathe, and just with a slight modification, putting a piece of tubing in there, I can actually hold it with two handles and put it on the belt sander or on the polishing wheel, and that allows the wheel to spin. So I think that'll be a fairly interesting video for you to see. And at some point I'll be getting my son's 69 Jeepster back in, and there's quite a bit of work to be done on that. So that'll probably be March or April by the time I get that in and get started on it. But there's going to be quite a few projects to be done on that. I've just recently learned how to do playlists. It's a computer thing. So if you go to my channel, and on the front page you'll see playlist on there. Click on that, and right now I have 4 different playlists. One of the metal meets, one on the bead roller. I have 5 videos on that one. Metal Meets has 6. My Shelby reunions and a video at the Cobra Museum. There's 3 videos on that, and on how-tos I got 24. So check those out. Might be easier to find exactly what you're looking for if you use the playlist on my home page. So 2020, I have quite a number of videos that I'll be putting out. If you haven't subscribed already, please do so. I'm going to have quite a number of fairly interesting videos that I'll be producing. If you haven't seen my video on how to use the flat washers on the bead roller, you can look right up here, click on that. If you haven't seen the truing the English wheel anvils, you can click right up here. And don't forget to subscribe. See ya.